Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing the Chevy Suburban LT. This is the best bang for your buck version of the Suburban. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Center Chevy here in Salt Lake for me some time with the Suburban. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a 5.3 liter V8 naturally aspirated that goes through a 10-speed, fuel economy is 14 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you need some more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, this one's all blacked out, which I think looks pretty sharp, especially in contrast to the chrome. I think black and chrome always looks so good together. But you've got the new lights, which are pretty fun. And notice that a lot of the elements are painted or chrome on the front end, so it has a much more premium look. They're not cheaping out. Now our tire wheel setup is 265 by 65 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver coloration there. And then I like the fender, how that's kind of cut. Suburban there on the side. You've got these giant fixed side steps. You've got lots of chrome trim here around the window setup. And then if we take a few steps back, here's your side profile. Now this leads us to the key fob where we have our lock and unlock function. We got the remote start, the opening for the hatch, and also just for the window. I guess we'll do the window to show that to you guys. It's a cool feature on the Tahoes. It's nice. My Land Cruiser has the same thing, which is just practical, so you can just quickly throw something in without having to do the full opening. But with the Suburban, this is why you get it. Tons of storage space behind the third row with the third row folded up. With the Tahoe, if you want storage, you gotta fold part of the third row down or the whole third row down. And they make things easy. It's all automatic with the third row, so if you need more storage, you got that. The seats in the second row fold down. You've got this cool outlet here in the back as well, and then there's even more storage underneath here. And so yeah, it's just a really good setup overall. And then they make this easy. Just press that and that will lower the hatch right back down. Now we've got the new taillight design, which I think looks pretty cool. It's like all smoked out, which, yeah, it's a nice look. And then you can see the LT badge. You got more chrome here on the back. Receiver hitch cover there at the very bottom. And notice with the LT, you don't get the crazy aggressive exhaust tips like you get on the RST, for example. And then this leads us inside where we've got more of that nice soft touch trim. You can see the wood trim as well, and then more soft touch below. And then here are the seats. Pretty neat. Easy to clean. It's one of the benefits here. And then you notice that you can just pull this twice and then I'll pull the seat down. Now you do have a third row. Again, same thing with the seats being easy to clean, no perforations or anything like that. And then you've got good legroom there, which is another big benefit of the Suburban and the Tahoe for the third row. They also have USB ports back there. You can see it raises up, so you've got good headroom, you've got the vents and all of that. And then this has captain chairs, so you've got to pass through to get into the back. And then getting this back up is pretty easy. You just kind of fold it up. You can do it with one arm. And then stepping in is easy as well. Legroom's good. We've got a little storage pocket. We've got some cup holders here. And then down below you can see here with the heated seats, you've got your climate zone. And then headroom, decent. The sunroof does take a little bit of space though. Now popping up front, again, we've got all the soft touch trim that goes across down below as well. Memory seat functionality. We've got all of our window controls, front two are automatic. The mirrors power fold in. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then capacities on this. 1705 for the payload, which is strong. 8,000 for the towing, also strong. Here's the front seat. Gonna have that same easy to clean trim, power adjustments on the side. And then we've got a million controls here. So parking brake, this is your drive line, it has a 2-speed transfer case, your drive mode select next to that. Light controls here, trailer brake controls there. And then you've got your 360 camera, stability, hill descent, parking sensors. That's your parking assist, auto stop start, and then your lane departure, and then nice trim all over the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around. We've got paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel, radio controls below those paddle shifters, still in the back. On the front, we've got stuff like our heated steering wheel control. Controls for the center, we've got cruise control with this. turn signal slash windshield wiper stock, and then we've got a new column shifter here with the Suburbans. Full digital gauge cluster, which, just like the new Colorado, Canyon, and other new Chevy models, or I should say GM models, right? It's pretty customizable. I think it's nice with the setup. 360 camera system with this as well, so good resolution, easy setup to use. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's quick to respond. I mean, look at that. That's nice. You've got dual zone climate with this as well, heated seats built in on top of that. And so there's not really a downside to the system, is what I would go with on it. There is soft touch all across the kind of like dash section, especially down below. And then we do have a normal glove box. It's kind of far for the driver to reach, but not too bad. Some vents here in the center, nice. Even the vents have like a nice finish on it. They're going all in. Got our climate controls for the front, and then wireless phone charging pad with some USB ports, cup holders here. I guess they like piano black. We got more storage here with the USBs. Nice trim here on the top. And then we've got some controls up top for like the seats and everything, but then also for the center, which is nice. This one as equipped is 72.5K roughly. So almost 8K less than the RST that I reviewed. So quite a bit more affordable. Anyways, let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in this Suburban LT. By the way, visibility, it's solid. Again, it is a big SUV, so it's just the distances are great. There's like an entire ocean between me and the back window, basically. But I'm kind of digging the new Suburban and Tahoe. Again, I've said this before, I'm not a huge, sorry, I gotta adjust a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the giant screen stuff, but you know, it's just kind of what GM is going for right now. I'm still interested to see if the giant screen trend continues, because I don't know. I just noticed when I talk to people, again, as I'm doing these reviews, you know, people walk up, ask me questions about cars, and so I always just I'll ask them questions back, right? And you know what I kind of consistently hear from people is that they're okay with tech if it's reliable. If it's not reliable, then a lot of people don't want it. That's actually the reason. Like, people, these giant screens, they're like, it's okay, but I'd rather have a physical button because I know it's gonna just, every time I push it, it's gonna work. And it's easy to get to. That's the other thing with these screens that people are kind of not liking so much. So it's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. But seats are comfortable, and these are the best seats to have if you've got kids, because these seats are, I didn't realize 3 people in a row were gonna be turning. I could have gone, but safety first. These seats, just without the perforations and everything, it's gonna be way easy to clean. And black too doesn't show stuff as much, so isn't that weird though? It's something I've always thought about cars is funny, is if you get a car with a white exterior, it won't look as dirty. Black exterior, dirty all the time. But then if you get a car with a white interior, excuse me, it'll look dirty all the time, but black interior doesn't show stuff. So it's like the ideal, and that's why a lot of cars are like this. The ideal is white exterior, black interior, and then your car is never gonna look dirty, even though it's filthy. Aside from that, it drives nice, and the 5.3's got good enough power. It's not a rocket ship by any means. Get the 6.2 if you want a rocket ship, but it's solid enough. It is definitely solid enough when it comes to the power figures. It's a big beast. The thing about Suburbans is, even though they're shorter than full-size pickup trucks, they feel kind of bigger to drive around because it's all enclosed. Versus with the pickup trucks, you got the bed and you can kind of just see right over, and so it doesn't feel nearly as big. But it's a nice drive. The suspension is pretty comfortable. I'm really interested to drive, I want to drive one of these with the air suspension. I want to see if that's kind of changed at all over time. Air suspension systems, that's another great example of something that people love them, but they don't want them because they break. Like, it's like, I'd love to have air suspension as long as it's not going to break. So it's kind of interesting to see that dynamic with, it's a cool feature. It helps out when it works. When it works. But yeah, overall ride quality and all that, this is a nice drive. Genuinely, this is a nice drive. I don't have anything negative to say. And this doesn't really drive too different compared to the previous version. Like, the biggest changes you're getting really like the looks on the exterior bit, and then this new screen setup. It's kind of the bulk of it. So let me know what you guys think about the new Suburban. Let me know what you think about the LT. I think the LT is the best bang for your buck because it's got a lot of the nice luxury items, as I'll call them, that people like and that a lot of people are looking for, but it's not nearly as expensive as the higher up packages, you know, RST High Country. So you gotta get the best of both worlds. You get some luxury, and you get that luxury at a lower cost. And man, yeah, the V8 performance in this is just solid. It's just a 5.3 too. Let me know what you think.